Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans, and good morning, NFL fans, to Week 7 of the NFL 2019 football season. With this week, our Philadelphia Eagles coming off a tough beatdown loss against the Minnesota Vikings. We travel down to Dallas, Texas, to also take on the 3-3 Dallas Cowboys, coming off of a tough loss against a used-to-be winless New York Jets team. I wish I could bask in a little bit of that, but taking ownership responsibility, I got to talk a little bit more about what my Eagles didn't do against the Vikings instead of what the Cowboys didn't do against the Jets. I still will leave some room for that, though. Last week was kind of tough, right? For many reasons, because we thought we had enough to win against Minnesota. I myself, too, fell a little bit into the Zach Brown kind of, it's okay to keep the ball in Kirk Cousins' hands, because I saw some of the rift that he had between Diggs and Thielen, and I thought that would continue if we could just rattle them early, get them off their game, and then get a win in Minnesota. As we know, that definitely did not happen. They got on the same page quickly. They got some bombs multiple times to Stephon Diggs mostly. And when it looked like we were waking up and we were going to come back, because I think at even some point it was like 24-3 or so, something like that. We ended up coming back and it was 24-20, and it looked like we were waking up again like we've done all season, being down by double digits, and then we come roaring back and ended up winning some of those games, which we cannot continue to do. But that's when crap really hit the fan. Interceptions were thrown, opportunities were missed, and they just, in some aspects, outplayed us and beat us 38-20. Another week without Deshaun Jackson, Darren Sproles being out. Life happened. I'm not going to sit here and go, well, we could have. No. Minnesota beat us with the people that they had on their squad. They beat the people that we had on our squad that's healthy enough to play. That's the part about building a big roster. I'm going to say that probably every time that we lose, because I personally don't like when people make those kind of excuses where we shoulda, coulda, woulda. Now, which is something, moving on, because we can't bask in our losses either. You just got to keep looking forward and moving on. That being said, that is somewhat what you're going to hear from Dallas Cowboy fans. Not all of them. Actually, there's a lot of good ones out there, per se, that are from Texas. I don't really mess with people that are from this area that root for the Cowboys. No, thank you. The people I met down in Texas that are actually good fans, right, are from that area, sure. You're going to hear from some of them that they're dealing with injuries now. That's something that we have been dealing with for quite some time now. Got Amari Cooper and Randall Cobb. They got both their tackles, Collins and Smith. They have significant issues to deal with. And of course, as always, Sean Lee, is he going to play, is he not? He's always on the injury list at some point, depending on if he's going to play or not. But that's part of football. Part of football is dealing with injuries and allowing for the next man up to produce, to come up with a game plan and say, hey, look, what are your talents and skills that you can help our team beat the other one this week? And that's what all we're trying to do this week, is go 1-0 this week, because, yeah, this might be one of the worst divisions of football, because 3-3 in almost any other division puts you at best second or third place in a division. No, in the NFC East this year, right now, 3-3 has you tied for first place. All right. Okay. Not exactly what we wanted to see, but it is what it is, so deal with it. So, I never want to cheer for injuries for anybody. That's not how I like to win, but I will talk about the realities of injuries and what that means for either team. First, starting out with the Eagles. Yeah, we have some people out. Tim Jernigan's out, Darren Sproles, Deshaun Jackson, and corners, Avonte Maddox, Nigel Bradham, and linebacker. We have a lot of people that are out. We have some people that might be coming back. Jalen Mills hasn't come off the PUP list yet. He might started practice. We need lots of corner help. Whatever you got, whatever legs you got. Ronald Darby might be back this week. Don't know. There is a very outside chance that Deshaun Jackson might be back on a pitch count. I wouldn't bank on it, but if it happens and we see him suited up, it's something to get excited about. It's something to watch. Jason Peters, I don't believe is playing, or he's going to be playing in a limited role. So Ravondre Dillard is going to start at left tackle. He might have struggled a little bit against Minnesota, but maybe with an entire week, knowing that he's going to be starting left tackle this week, he might be prepared for the Dallas Cowboy defensive line, and that's what I hope. Fletcher Cox got sick, and I don't think he practiced on Wednesday, but I think he did practice yesterday on Thursday, and I believe he's going to be over his illness, so I think he's going to play on Sunday, which is definitely needed because we definitely need a push against Dak Prescott because he is a mobile quarterback, and he can burn us with his legs. But man, we just, we need secondary help. We missed out on Jalen Ramsey. Me personally, with the kind of things that I saw from him as he was trying to get a trade or whatever like that, I wouldn't want a personality like that on my team, but I do think that we need to be going after somebody. But I don't want to mortgage the future in the process. I mean, take a little page out of the Phillies. We kind of mortgaged our future years ago. We don't have people in the farm system we can bring up, and now we're just trying to sign free agents so we can potentially make the playoffs. And as you know, it's October and we're not playing. So I don't want to mortgage our future. I don't want to give away 2 first-round picks and a second or a fourth or something like that for our future, because then we're going to get to those drafts and we're going to have nobody to replenish an already older lineup, which what we have. We have one of the oldest NFL lineups in the league. So we got to be smart about it. And we also have to draft a lot better. We really do. We have to draft corners a whole lot better. We're seeing a couple other teams that we're trying to trade with now. We're seeing them draft either. We got to pull somebody from their scouts and pay them more and give them a different, or we got to work something out. We got to draft secondary a lot better. Because right now, the guys we drafted aren't really doing much. Even though, yes, I'll say it again, I am a Rasul fan, but last week just was painful, and I'll get to that in a second. But Jenkins came from another team. Kyle came from another team. Can't live like that. We need consistency through draft, bring those people up, allow them to produce and defend for our birds. Dallas, yes, I talked about their injuries. The biggest injuries that I see, I mean, Gallup is a little injured too, but I think he's just going to play, especially after his comments back from what Doug Peterson said, jumping all in saying the Eagles are going to come down to Dallas and get a win. I don't expect my coach to say anything other than that, other than not saying anything at all and doing like the Andy Reid thing. But I like a confident coach. He's not necessarily Zach Brown and saying, oh yeah, we want the ball in Dak's hands because he's not a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. He's not saying all that stuff. He's just saying, I believe in my team. I believe we're going to go down there and we're going to win. I'm okay with that, right? So Gallup, he might be a little injured, but I think expect him to play. But having Amari Cooper and Randall Cobb out is very good for our Philadelphia Eagles for what our main struggle is with dealing with wide receivers. If you look at almost every single week this year, we've had significant issues guarding the other team's top wide receiver. If you look at week 1, McLaren had 125 yards. He averaged 25 yards a catch. Week 1. Week 2, Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley both went over 100 yards against us. Week 3, Matt Jones went over 100 yards against us. Week 4, Devontae Adams had 180 yards against us. That's ridiculous. Week 5, we played the Jets. Fine, nobody went over 50 yards. Cool, the Jets. But then come back and Stephon Diggs for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns against us week 6. That is ridiculous. And you can see that a mile away, and it's not getting any better. So having Amari Cooper out, which actually burned us last year anyway, having him out is not necessarily a bad thing. But once again, I'm not preying on injuries for people, but if they happen and he's not going to play, that's actually a benefit for us, along with the check down guy, Randall Cobb. When he is healthy, he's really great on the Packers. He's like their new Beasley kind of person. He might not be playing as well, which means we know what we're dealing with now. We know we're going to be strictly dealing with Gallup. We know we're going to be dealing with Witten. We know we're going to deal with Zeke, and we're going to deal with Dak. Safe play calling and dealing with his legs. Depending on what their tackles are doing with Smith and Collins, we should be getting after Dak. We should be getting after Zeke, and we should be run blitzing and getting after it and giving everything that we got to keep him on the ground, keep him out of the end zone, and putting us hopefully into a win column. This is Dallas week in Philly. This is what we wanted. We wanted the opportunity to be on top. This is what we're asking for. We need a win big time down in Dallas. The winner of this game is essentially going to almost have like a 2-game lead. They're going to have the 1-game lead on the other team, and they're going to have the tiebreaker. You can only imagine how big this game is this week to our team, and I fully expect for my Birds to go down to Dallas and beat the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm all in. I'm all in just like Doug Peterson's in. I believe in my team. You know what? I know we've had our struggles, and I know we've missed out on some free agent stuff. I'm not sitting around here crying about what if and what could have been. This is what it is. 3-3 Eagles against 3-3 Dallas Cowboys. The winner is going to be in first place by themselves in the NFC East. And I know and I hope with everything in my heart that it's my Philadelphia Eagles that stand tall at the end and get the W. Let's go Birds, let's believe in our squad, and let's go down to Dallas and get a win. And as we do, let's go Birds, baby. E-I-G-L-E-S Eagles! Beat them boys, yeah!